Just trying to make
So
it
how
work.
do you feel about bringing King of the Hill back on the air?
Are we on? Are we going?
We're in.
All right,
Everything's
so
rolling.
start it off right there. I'm not going to say it's because of my Boomhauer impression, but I'm just saying they didn't really make that full announcement until I made that
Speaking
Boomhauer.
of which,
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep, it's that type of morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
It's that type of morning. It's not up to me to tell you if we can, but the great thing is, I'm probably going to mention it anyway. And he may cut it out of the audio, but if he does, you can always catch it on YouTube because we control that one.
if you do mention it, I will cut it out because they do listen.
I know, that's why I said you're going to cut it out of the audio, but you can always catch it on YouTube.
Oh, Jesus.
Also, first lesson I learned, don't give keys to everything. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to This Week in Barbecue, the barbecue-focused podcast that brings you the good, the bad, and as you saw, by the way, my bearded, wondered co-host knocked back that drink. Everything in between. My name is Rasheed Phillips. I am your host, and joining me as always is Mr.
Brian Hull.
And we've got our amazing producer on the mic. Say hey, Lee.
Hey, guys.
And today, we've got a lot of questions for you
And
guys.
a buzzsaw in the background.
And a buzzsaw in the background. This is what happens, but hopefully you guys can't hear it. We certainly can.
It's there just a little bit. But
Well, we'll see how good the voice denoise works.
Exactly. We'll knock that out. Just remember to take it off before you bounce it so we don't sound like Darth Vader.
Understandable. Lessons learned.
Lessons learned, ladies and gentlemen. And it wasn't too soon because I let that float for a little while. I have an idea for a good idea, bad idea, but if I say it, you're going to cut it out.
Yeah.
All right. I'll tweak it.
Okay.
Good idea, bad idea. Build a house and invite your friends to come live with you. Bad idea, build a house and invite your friends to come live with you, and then they try to kick you out of the house you built.
I'll still probably edit that out. I'll still probably edit that out.
I tried.
You tried.
I'm not good at this.
It's too soon and too specific. If we had done it like a month down the road.
I'm making a note right now. Actually, I'll revisit this in March.
In March. We're going to be laughing and people's like, what was so funny?
It's like, you should have watched the YouTube version where it wasn't cut out.
And what do you call yourselves? We're called the Aristocrats.
There it is. There it is.
If anybody gets that joke, I apologize.
Nah, it'll be fine.
Do you know that? Do you know that reference?
I think I do, but I feel like I'm not all the way there.
And by the way, I said aristocrats, not aristocats.
Which is
Yeah.
also a wonderful animated film.
Oh, well, the Aristocrats is not a wonderful animated film.
No, it's not. What do we got going today? How do you want to start us off?
Do you want to do... I mean, we got some festivals coming up. You want to talk about them?
There are a lot. There's a festival and a half coming up. It's coming up on festival season.
It's festival season.
Yeah. Or it's ticket sales for festival season.
It's ticket sales for festival season. So...
All right, let's run through a little bit here. Let's start off because I've got some that round house kick.
Yeah.
Roadhouse. Kicking everything here. So I'm going to kick it off with Carolina Barbecue Festival is back again. Shocking. It's in the Carolinas. It's going to be on May 7th of this year. It supports Heel Charlotte, and they're going to have some amazing pitmasters there. Elliot Moss. Elliot's just multi-talented, man. Mean behind the pit, mean behind some flames. A great artist as well. I'm glad that he's letting that art shine. I love seeing his work. I love seeing his artwork. It makes me want to showcase some of my stuff some more. They're going to have Tank Jackson. Shout out to Tank. I love Tank. He's a hell of a character. Great guy. Shout out to Bear, Tank's driver, who had us sort of chauffeured around in that amazing old school limo with the horns on it. So those great guys. Tay Nielsen, you met Tay in Charleston over at Holy Smokes. He's a great guy. Tay's doing some really, really good stuff. We had breakfast with Tay, with Rodney, before we left Lee. And, of course, I had to round it out with my man, 100 Grand, the king of Georgia barbecue, Mr. Brian Furman. He is going to be there as well. And this is just like a Brian Furman week full of news. So B was over in the City of Angels. He was visiting, the cats over at Moose, who You have some news on them later that we'll touch on. But he was
We have
visiting
news on
Moose.
a lot of people
On
in
a
the
lot of
barbecue
cats.
industry.
B was over in LA. He stopped by Moose and he blessed Moose with his hash recipe. So if you were in the LA area, you could have gotten some of that nice South Carolina hash from B himself.
One of the best sides in barbecue.
Oh, hands down, one of the most overlooked sides.
No, I mean
in barbecue, I believe.
I was a little upset every time I went to the Kroger location because they didn't have hash and rice.
They didn't. Yeah.
But like I think I understand why. He's like, you just didn't trust anybody to make it right.
No, I don't blame him. He's tight with it. He's very tight with it. Even when I went to the restaurant, his mom was still making the flapjacks.
Yeah. Oh, the
little griddle cakes.
Yeah, the griddle cakes with the crackling.
Yeah, I paid homage to be on the show actually because I made my rendition of his griddle cakes, like just tipping out like, hey, and I even said I don't know if it made it in the cut or not because I haven't seen the show, but I tipped my hat to like all my idols as much as I could during that show, and that was my piece of it. But back to the story, B was over there visiting the cats at Moo's. He, it's his comfort food. They have a great little video of B and them talking about it, and they're just holding that amazing bowl of hash and rice, and they sort of swapped out recipes, so you could have gotten some of B's hash, get that South Carolina comfort food, all the way in the City of Angels. B also has released his 4-pack of sausages too. So that's.
Did we talk about it last week?
We mentioned it, but I wanted to roll that in because like he's just, it's going, and I think it's almost coming up on time again for B to potentially be going back to Harvard again. I think they invited him one more time to come out, so that's going to be something. He's just extremely multifaceted. I absolutely love all he does, and he's a huge inspiration to many in the culture and in the community. But shout out to B for spreading that South Carolina love and recipe all the way in LA.
All right, this is gonna be a weird like sidetrack, but
Okay.
let's just good lesson to learn here. So you have an Instagram account or any account, 2-factor authentication.
Yes, that is correct. As of right now, B does not have control of his previous account. We can link his new account in the show notes for you guys to follow. We posted it on our stories on This Week in Barbecue. I don't think he's gotten it back yet. As far as I've checked, that other account is still sort of out floating, not emailing like links, DMing links to like, hey, come get these 80% off sunglasses and stuff. So yeah.
Oh, hopefully someone from Meta is listening, and they can. That's usually how it all gets worked out. Is you got to know someone at Meta.
Yeah, and we've got people there, so if that's what has to happen, we can shake a tree and see if they can get it back. But it kind of sucks when that happens. You work so hard to build up your audience, and then someone just snatches it. But Bees doesn't care about this social stuff. He's for the people. He's working any which way. He's moving and grooving anyway. So the people who know how to find him will find him, and it'll grow nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm just for everybody else, like 2-factor authentication. There are apps that you can get to, like download it, use it. Don't do the text message or the email one. Those aren't good enough. There's plenty of programs out there. There's the Google Authenticator. There's a Microsoft one.
Just a code that resets every 45 seconds. Is all.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Perfect. So that's on that tiny bit of festival news. I'm going to go ahead and bump it over to the Field Guide Festival. So that's happening April 22nd, Saturday from 1 to 5 in Austin, Texas, benefiting the Central Texas Food Bank. See, I love that all these festivals are not just for cash or like, hey, we want to make money. They're all really going for an amazing benefit. And one that I didn't have listed on here is actually OBR, Operation Barbecue. One time to John and one time to Stan A's of Operation Barbecue for putting this on. They're putting on a celebrity barbecue contest, which they do. I believe this is the 3rd year that they're doing it. They'll have pitmasters come out. They're going to be set up on 7 out of the 16 holes, and they're going to be serving different celebrities. They're raising all these funds for just amazing causes, and that is actually happening post Memphis in May, literally the next day over, May 21st to May 22nd. We will have details, information, how you can support Operation Barbecue Relief. If you just want to volunteer, if you want to donate, any which way, shape, or form, get down how you get down. They're always willing to accept some help.
Are we playing golf?
You've seen me golf. I don't golf. I Happy Gilmore.
You want to drive the cart and I'll play golf?
You can do that. I'll just hang out
I'll
in the
swing
car.
for you.
Yeah,
Pitch hitter.
I'll bring my UE boom, just clip it up, and just have some Kendrick Lamar Mad City playing. Just completely throw these people off. Like, hey, you guys should have known what you get when you invited me out here. That's what it's gonna be. But I don't know because my tour schedule for the summer is a little bananas, honestly. So I don't. Yeah. I'm having I think I'm actually having to fly into Memphis in May from LA, like the morning of everything. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll sort it. There's worse things to be concerned for. That's all I know.
Another festival, since we're just knocking out the festivals.
Let's knock all the festivals out.
10th
This will make
annual,
a great cut down.
10th annual Houston Barbecue Festival, April 2nd. So tickets are on sale for that.
All right, right on.
Yeah, plenty of joints going to be out there. So,
Good deal.
oh, keep it short and sweet.
Great. Thanks for making it seem like I rambled on my festival.
No. You're good. You had to,
You're good. Keep it
hey,
going.
no. Do you want to go over the news we kind of missed last week?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say we missed. It's just there's a lot.
I mean, there's a lot, but
There's a lot that happens in this week in barbecue. We
But,
may need to go to dailies today in barbecue.
today in barbecue. But the James Beard nominations came out last week, and there's a lot of barbecue joints in the semifinalists.
In our defense, I think it came out like right after we'd finished everything. It wasn't full. There was like a teaser list, but the official.
I'm gonna have to edit that out because remember we record live.
Well, I know we record live, but I think it came out after we'd done everything.
It came out Wednesday.
Did it?
So
I'll pay attention.
yeah. No. We could say we had so many notes that we missed it.
Yeah, whatever. Let it
I will edit it out because remember if we gotta.
Yeah.
So a bunch of people.
Yes.
Moo's Craft Barbecue in California got nominated, so congrats to them and their team. Heirloom Barbecue Market in Southeast got nominated. Tropical Smokehouse down in the South got nominated.
No, let's not skip over Heirloom. They're in our backyard, you know.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
You gotta
Like,
give them some love.
They were the second place I mentioned.
Oh, but you say Southeast, like, hey, they're in Georgia.
They're in Georgia.
They're here. We don't
They're
have
in
any,
Atlanta.
We don't have anything. Let's claim something. Everyone's in Carolina, Kansas, Texas. Texas just runs the whole thing. Hey, Georgia, stand up one time.
Actually,
we're here.
I think they can't say this is Atlanta.
Yeah, they are in Atlanta.
I mean, I think they're in a spot where someone can't say it's not Atlanta.
Very
If you know what I'm referencing.
Yes, it's very much.
Then a ton in Texas, of course.
Oh, of course. It's just a
So
stacked
Distant
deck.
Relatives, KG Barbecue.
DR, those are your boys. You told me about a little bit of
What, KG Barbecue?
Distant Relatives.
Oh yeah, well I've never been. That's just on my bucket list. Like them and also another one, Burnt Bean Co. That's on my bucket list of going. Gatlin's Barbecue, Curry Boys Barbecue in San Antonio, and then my boys Goldie's Barbecue.
One, I've gotten to roll smoke and hang with Ernest. He's just dope. That's
The stuff that they're doing at Burnt Bean looks amazing.
Yeah, it tastes even better than it looks. We were out together in Austin? Yeah, solid cat, cooler than the other side of the pillow. Absolutely, yeah. Go check them out. Go support. Get 2 trays. Get everything. Nothing's bad there.
Tell 2 friends to get 2 trays.
Yeah, buy one, give one away type of thing. Like, it's that good. So that's that. Let's jump all for this because I got this was DM'd to me a lot, but it's on your list, so I'll let you lead with it. The 4th slice methodology.
Okay, so this started probably cropping up, I think, widely last year.
Yeah,
that's when I saw it. So the 4th slice methodology, there was an article on Texas Monthly. Daniel Vaughn talked about it.
Barbecue snob.
It started with Leonard Botello of Truth and Bert Bachman of Slab and formerly Trudy's Underground Barbecue. They would go back and forth on brisket quality, and the idea is that your first slice is on the fatties are going to be your burn ends, and the second and third slice are going to be super moist because they're so close to the edge. You can tell the quality of a brisket cook based on the 4th slice, because you can start like how even was the trim for the fat layer. Was it a little overcooked? Because that's the slice that tends to get a little bit grainy if you overcook it. So that's when all the fat kind of renders out. It's actually a pretty logical way to look at
Yeah.
it. Like if you want to really judge the quality of a brisket, judge it by the 4 slice.
Yeah.
Now don't go to your barbecue joint and start asking, yeah, I want the 4 slice.
Yeah, give me the 4 slice. I wonder how many people have gone in.
Oh, apparently people like all the way up in Chicago were going up and asking. It's like,
They have
hey,
barbecue in Chicago?
yeah, Green Street Market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Shocker.
Yeah, no, they got good barbecue up in Chicago. Oh, and Knox Ave.
Oh,
Yeah, Joe Yim.
yeah.
He's doing
Okay.
good stuff.
Good deal. Good deal.
Yeah. No, so don't go be like, I want 3/4 slices of brisket because they're not going to cut 3 fresh
No,
briskets
that's
for
not.
you.
That's not going to
Yeah,
work.
it's not a thing.
But in the weird world, I can see that they will, but they'll just charge a dumb premium for it.
That's true.
We'll give you 1 pound of 4 slices.
God, don't put that out in the world. Do not put that out.
Don't you? Too late. It's there. Don't you edit it out.
Oh, by the way.
I won't, because you have cats come up like, hey, I want a pound of fatty, and I want a half a pound of lean. So it's not that far fetched to believe it's going to be, hey, let me get a pound of 4 slices.
If you order over 2 pounds with me, it's mixed. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's like you're not getting all 2 pounds of fatty. It's
Yeah,
like, I
yeah.
can't do it.
Yeah, you can't. I'll do it. It's just going to run you a premium. Like hey, let me just get all the ends. Cool. Run me that check, homie.
Speaking of which, shout out to someone who came in on Saturday and asked, they were eating their ribs and they go, were these flipped?
Oh God, I love it.
Spoiler alert, they weren't.
I love it so much. See, I told you got fans, man. You got fans.
They weren't flipped, actually.
Good.
I only flip ribs for a specific reason. So
I love that fact. I love that they came in and were like, hey, give me the unflipped. Give me the unflipped middle bones. Let me get those. Let me get the hearts of it. That had to make you laugh. That had to make you laugh.
That made my day.
Yeah,
That made my day.
I love that. I keep telling you, man.
Yeah.
People really they listen. That shocks me, but two, they love you, which doesn't shock me at all. So I love that someone came up like,
Did you get any feedback from the sisters? Am I inside my corner? Much deserved.
you want to know what saved you?
What?
So the oldest hasn't listened yet because they've been dealing with horrible weather over there.
Okay.
So they had some power outages and stuff like that. But that's resolved. So good luck.
Hey, look. Any flack I get is much deserved. So
Very true.
hey,
That's true.
speaking of ribs, there's a question about ribs this
All right,
week.
run it off.
So hold on, let me.
Is it the membrane one?
Yeah, it's the membrane one.
Run it.
All right. So well, you know what? You go first. How do you get? What's your methodology for getting the membrane off when you want to get the membrane off?
When I want to get the membrane off, I do a couple of things. I start flat and I insert the butter knife and I make sure I have like a cloth or a rag or a paper towel or whatever, and then I lift so I get a little hump there, and then flick the knife up and just pull like real quick, and it always pulls all of it off. I found like when I leave it flat and you're trying to pull it that way, it tears for me. But when I add that little bend and lift, like it all, because it lifts the ends up at one time, just snaps clean off.
I mean, the real thing is don't try and just grab it with your hand and rip it off. You really need the cloth or the paper towel.
You've got to get something.
Yeah.
And that's what I found that works. I think there's a 1,000,001 videos out there from people showing how to get membrane off. I know I've got one out there with Kingsford. BBQ's got one. Tuffy's got one. I think anybody who rolls smoke anywhere's got a how to. But like you said, the secret really is get that little flap going and get yourself some paper towels. I found napkins don't work.
Yeah, no, it's got to be paper towels.
Yeah, it's got to be paper towel
bare
or
minimum.
like a terry cloth. But napkins do not work.
I mean, or just don't take the membrane off.
Yeah, we're not going there. We're not. Not this episode, sir.
Not this episode. All right.
Not this episode.
Do you want to do more questions or?
Yeah, let's see what else do we have here. There are a lot of questions actually. Someone asked, we'll run it at the top of the list on how much salt to add to a steak. And I think this came because I'd posted something in my stories with a series of steaks that were just heavily crusted.
Yeah,
Heavily crusted.
how much salt to add to steak? More than you would think.
Yes. And I think what we have to clarify, the type of salt matters. Not all salt is created equal. Do not go salt baying your salt with table salt.
With iodized salt.
That's not a that's bad for everybody. That's not the times I use iodized salt. Let's run that for me when I'm making stocks or brines or when I'm doing whole hog. That's
You want to hear
that's
how
really
many times
it.
I use iodized salt?
Yeah.
When I'm trying to clot like a cut. You pour iodized salt in there and you clot the
Yeah.
you clot the cut so it slows the bleeding down.
That's not a bad. Yeah, that's a. How
Oh,
many times are you cutting
I was
yourself?
gonna say, it also kind of might hurt.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt.
Oh no. I mean that's you just learn that in the kitchen sometimes.
Yeah, but there's other ways. But I get it.
I mean
Ice cold water or cold plunge real quick will
no
tighten it up.
it's the thing of like you're in the middle of prep. You got to keep going. You clot it, you wrap it, you throw it in a glove, and then you keep going.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to stop the bleeding as fast as possible.
I cut myself for the first time in like 5-6 years, and I didn't even have a blade out. It's just the sheath, the blade was so sharp it went through my sheath of my carrying case and cut me. And I was like, son of a bitch, I wasn't even.
It's when you're just rolling it
Yeah,
up.
yeah. When we were going, we had to do a Home Depot cook, and it cut me. I was like, son of a bitch, I wasn't even cooking anything. I wasn't doing anything. It was just that sharp, which I was like, hell yeah, for me, because I just whetstoned everything. For those wondering, whetstone is a great way. It's meticulous, but it's a very zen and meditative way of sharpening your knives. But yeah, it sliced my finger. Happily, it wasn't my dominant hand, so I didn't really care. Wrapped it up, popped a glove, like, all right, let's go do our thing. I was like, I wish I would have at least been cooking or doing something, but yeah.
No, I only slice my non-dominant hand ever. That's,
yeah.
That's the only way.
That's the only way to do it, because you should have the blade here. But I had no blade, no knife in hand. We were just loading up the cases.
I mean, so I do I curl the knuckles, but the only time I don't really curl the knuckles is I was holding a bunch of collard greens over the holiday, and like I came down and I almost sliced a chunk out of my thumb.
Got it. I always curl knuckles and tuck that thumb. But like I said, for me, we weren't even prepping anything. It was just loading stuff in, and then like I said, it was just so sharp it went through the sheath. But as far as that, like we said,
Back to the steak.
the steak and the salt, we get on tangents here, ladies and gentlemen. Try to keep up. I usually do a hefty amount, especially if I'm prepping it a couple days before. So the image that may have sparked this question, it was 4 ribeyes, heavy on the fat cap. They were about 2 inches thick. I was just hitting them with salt because I just wanted to get it as close to an Argentinian style, and you guys will understand and see why next week why I was doing that. But I just wanted it just pure salt, let it age, get that flavor in there as much as I could, and that's all the seasoning that those steaks got was just salt and smoke.
Yeah. Also, there's differences in kosher salt too. Like,
Yeah.
So I like Morton's kosher salt, but
I like Morton's.
yeah, but Diamond Crystal kosher salt, like that actually kind of melts into the meat quicker than say Diamond Crystal.
Yeah.
Or I mean, Morton's kosher.
I did get this asked one. No, please don't use ice cream salt
Or pickling salt.
Or pickling salt. Don't use those things. That's not good. Not all salt is created equal for the exact same use. So
I mean, like, so
mindful.
it depends on the type of the steak. So
Yes.
a thick cut ribeye, you're going to salt completely different. Then I cooked Kanger steaks the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're not going to salt those as heavily as you would a ribeye.
No, there's no need. And like the thickness of your steak determines how much salt you put on it.
Hey, this is a good question, just randomly. What are your favorite, like, non-traditional steaks?
Denver.
I was going to say, like, so mine are Hanger and Denver.
Yeah. Denver's mine. I don't
A
think
bavette. Yeah,
yeah.
I guess it's also called a bavette.
Yeah, I don't think mine are Denver and Florentine.
Okay.
Because I'll say Florentine, they're like, what does that mean? It's like, go. It's a dumb, thick porterhouse that's so beautifully done, and only salt. And to be a true Florentine, you have to be over there because the beef quality is in such a way that they cook it blue over there. Like, I've been able to find very close bits and pieces here from different providers that I can do a Florentine style. Like, I've got one that I'm actually going to do in this weekend. And it's strictly just salt and obscene amounts of heat. And I'm cooking it not blue, because it's not, that beef quality is nice, but it's not good enough for blue quality. But it's going to be bumping up against rare. Like, I'm going to like 118 on it. And people always ask, like, how do you know the temperature if you don't use a thermometer? I cook a lot of food all the time.
All right, this is This is a really simple guide.
You giving them the hand method?
Yeah, the hand method. This is for the video. So if you put your thumb to your pinky, or like, am I in shot right now? Put your thumb to your pinky, then take your other hand and feel the soft part right there. That's rare. Thumb to ring finger, medium rare. Thumb to middle finger, medium. Thumb to index finger, medium well.
There you go.
That's how you tell the
How
doneness
do you know
of a
when it's
steak.
well done? Because they've kicked you out of the room.
Because Hank threw you out of the cookout.
Yeah.
We asked them politely to leave and to never come back.
Nice and polite. Yeah, that's it's. Oh gosh, I love that scene.
No. So if you're like, oh, I've never heard of a vet or Denver, go to your local butcher shop. Don't go to Kroger.
Yes.
You could probably go to Whole Foods or something like that and ask. But
Yeah, and you're gonna get
gouged.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But go to your local.
Hopefully they buy you dinner first.
Yeah, go to your local butcher shop, and ask for a Denver bavette steak. I actually like. I think I like hanger better than skirt now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that. Next up, you want to hit the next question after the steak?
Okay, so, all right, this is an interesting one. How did we meet?
Oh, where did that one come from? Oh, that's on
Claire and Sons Barbecue. That was one of mine.
Oh, Claire. So how did we meet?
So, I mean, I think we did the normal IG pleasantries.
Yeah.
Then, was it 2020 or 2019? It was like right on the verge. It was
19, but like I heard about you before we did the IG pleasantries.
right.
From our good buddy Ted, who probably is not very happy with me because it's been over a year since I've seen Ted.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ted.
So we exchanged IG pleasantries, and then I came to one of your pop-ups. It was late 2019, early 2020.
Yeah.
Slow Pour Brewing in Lawrenceville.
Then it was definitely 19.
It was definitely 19.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think.
Because Corey was over there for that one.
Yeah, Corey was over there for that one. Was that pre or post?
Show?
It was pre-air.
It was pre-air. Definitely pre-air.
Yeah. Because that didn't come out until late 2020.
The show dropped September 18th, 2020. I know that because my godson was born that day.
Okay.
So,
Easy day to remember dates.
very easy. But yeah, it was in Slow Pour was pre-air post-film. And yeah, I didn't even care. I think it was they were doing a comic book.
No, it was a video game.
Was it video? Yeah, it was video games. And yeah, because we'd done a comic book one before. And I was like, man, I should have brought my comics. For those of you who don't know, I'm just a giant walking oak tree of a nerd. Like I've got comics. Like Lee will tell you, like the house before the last house, I had a whole wall of just first edition comics, just framed and mounted, which I still have because that's my 401k. The first one.
It's not Bitcoin, it's comics.
Yeah, it's good. So, yeah, I think
It's a better investment than FTX.
it's better than getting Traeger stock when you bought it at $28 and it's worth $3 and change now. So, go buy more stock. I sure did. Yeah, that is how we met. And then you had a couple of your events, and I came through those when you did your at the place we no longer discuss.
Well, no, it's funny. Like it took a year because of the COVID.
Yeah.
Because I was supposed to have an underground, and you were going to come with Ted and
Jack.
Yeah, Jack.
Right.
Jack Ryan, which is the best.
It is.
His actual name.
It's a real name. It's got
Real
an action
name.
hero name.
Yeah, so you were going to come down to that, but I canceled it because of the pandemic, so I didn't have another event for a year. So you came through to the brewery that we don't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And you came through the back door, and I just hooked you up with the tray, and you're like, that was the Manchego sausage day.
It was. And it was so good, I went back in line and put in an actual order because it was everyone sitting down at the table. I was like, heck yeah, I'll eat, and then grabbed and went on the merry way. But yeah, that is how we met. Huh, go figure. Let's run I guess that's the next one for me. This one I thought was oddly interesting. Your cursor is how to organize my cabinet/pantry. Best place for supplies. Any advice overall? I think they're just trying to get all their stuff organized, and that's true because I don't think you realize how much you accumulate in this craft. Like there's a lot, from spices to gloves to fire pokers to cooking rigs to knives to cutting boards to basins to it just keeps going and going.
I'm organized through disorganization. It's one of those things where I know where stuff is, but if someone comes over and they ask, like, I'll be like, I'll point in the general direction and they still won't be able to find it.
Yeah, my rubs are easy because I have all my rubs alphabetized, so that's fairly easy. And I have like my common ones usually start everything off first. I'm definitely big on shelving. Like all my cutting boards are in one area, all my bus tubs are in one area, all my cast irons on the lowest part of the shelves. Like I always wait for like Home Depot and stuff to get those shelves on sale, and I just grab them and fill things out. I went to one of the storage units yesterday, and I had to laugh because if you can only imagine how many DMs I get and emails we get, like, oh, we'd love to send you this product in exchange for you to reviewing it and talking about it. And I'm looking at one of the storage units that I can barely get into. I'm like, I don't need product. I have stuff in here that's still in boxes that haven't been opened. Like I'm not reviewing anything for free $99. Like I've got plenty of that offer doesn't work for me. But I'm in there and then there's just like pellets, coal from every coal brand you could ever imagine, wood splits, splitters, rigs, weird cook rigs, weird gloves, weird spatulas, weird knives. Like what? Like I just need to have like a dollar sale. Come grab it. Everything's $1. Just clean it all out, you know. But that storage stuff is harder to organize because it just gets delivered. I'm like, all right, let's just drop it in there. Some of the stuff's actually really cool, and we try to use it if it's good stuff. But some of it's hoaxy. You remember they sent me a the DM was like, you've been pulling your pork wrong. You need to get these, and it was like these weird.
The Wolverine claws.
I have those, and then it was like these weird claw gloves. And I was like,
Jesus!
Yeah, it's the same thing. Just
in gloves.
Tell me you undercooked pork without telling me you undercooked pork.
Basically, like if you have to pull out a power tool to shred your pork, sir, I'm gonna need you to hang it out.
I think I saw someone put an attachment on a drill, and that's how they pulled their pork.
You know what I've seen that. You know the weirdest one I've gotten was someone because I always talk about brining. And they're like, we've got the perfect accessory for you for brining. I was like, all right, whatever. The first off, the P.O. box is out there, so I don't request this stuff. My P.O. box is available in my bio, so people just send stuff. And the note said, we know you love brining. This will up your brining game. It was literally a mold of a hand in like a heavy metal or something casted to put over the meat so that it doesn't float. I was like, why? Why wouldn't I just use a brine bucket and put the lid in there? Like, why would I put this thing on there? I don't understand.
Too much, like they over-engineer things.
Yes.
Like I don't get it. It's like this. There's a simple solution, but we're gonna over-engineer it and make you. So, the good idea, bad idea thing came from the Bill Simmons podcast because he used to have the good bad idea segment.
For me, it predates that because I got enrolled in from Animaniacs.
Okay.
They would have good idea, bad idea segment with Wacko, Yakko, and Dot, and I would absolutely love it. So that's why I brought it in there.
Okay, well, like a lot of these like over-engineered, like make things easier is a good bad idea. Mm-hmm. So like one of the recently ones that Bill Simmons did, he came up with, he was like, what if there was a toaster but for pizzas? So you would put your pizza slice in a toaster. I'm like, it's called a toaster oven. It exists.
It is. Instead of being vertical, it works horizontal.
Right,
so
because
all your stuff doesn't slide down.
Yeah, so that was.
Come on, Bill. You're better than this. You're better than this.
All right, I got a good question for you.
Yeah, man. Hit it.
So you would know this more than I because I haven't cooked a one. But SGaney97 asks, having a baby in June, less time for a stick burner. Is the Gravity series the best alternative?
I'm always wary of saying best of anything.
Alternative.
Best alternative. I would say if I was in that predicament and I'm, a caveman at heart, rub 2 sticks together, I'm going to roll with the Gravity series over a pellet. Now you guys are like, oh, shocker, she just picked something that wasn't a pellet. Here's my reason why. When you are used to a stick burner, it's very hard to step away from wanting to use actual wood to cook. It's very tricky. There's some, you go through withdrawals. There's something about it we've talked about the oils, the aromas, there's something there. The reason why I like the Masterbuilt series, their Gravity series, I still use wood. My buddy Lil John, he not to be confused with Lil, not Lil John, but Little John.
That was the worst of all time for me. Oh my god!
Can
I gotta edit that out.
You can't. That was a very
the whitest
that was a very caucus
from the mountains of Caucasian. You've seen that clip? Right?
I have seen that clip.
Okay, that's God, I love Cat Williams. That is the best. Like, that movie may be crap, but he should have gotten an Oscar nomination for just that scene.
No,
can we link that in the show notes?
Yeah, I don't see why we can't. Shoot the link. We'll make it happen. Make your note and we'll send it. He does a method that he calls double stacking, where he'll do like a bed of coals, then he'll do like some wood chunks, then a bed of coals and wood chunks. For me, I like that method. It works, but the issue I found with it is it gives the wood flavor in bursts. What I wanted was to still have that continuous wood flavor. So in my hopper, what I will do is I'll actually load each 4 corners with thin splits of wood. Then I'll drop my coal down in the middle, so the coal is forcing the wood against the wall. So when I light it, the wood and the coals are all burning down at the same temperature and at the same time. So that way I'm getting a consistent flow of wood throughout the entire cook. Instead of getting charcoal here, then boom, popping nothing but wood. Charcoal here, boom, popping nothing but wood. And it works so well. So, brother, first off, congratulations. You know, I hear Rasheed is a strong name. It means goofy-looking oak tree in Jamaican. Secondly, if you're going to have to step away from the burner for a while, go ahead and get you a Gravity series, maybe something like their 500 or the 800 model, and use that method, because you'll still be able to put some of that wood to good use, and you save on charcoal. So that's just my suggestion.
Yeah, I figured that would be the perfect question for you to answer, because you're familiar with those products. So
yeah, man, it's a good one.
Speaking of which, I got to cook in the rain today. So, how do you manage a fire when it's raining? That's from Lacey _Alabraska.
Yeah, and shout out to Lacey. She's been a long-time supporter. She's always giving and donating to our Pitmaster Santa Drive, listener of the cast. So shout out to Lacey for that. But I love it because that's a great question. I'll let you lead the way on that one.
I mean, the easiest answer is to invest. It's $100. Go to Academy or your local store. Get a tent. Throw the tent over. I can't tell you how much, depending on how hard it's raining. Just get a tent so that the rain is not hitting the smoker. Now, if you don't have a tent and you don't, let's say you also don't have a tarp over your wood supply, an easy way to make sure you have dry wood is when you fire up the smoker, throw some wood at the front of your pit. So it kind of, you're almost kiln drying your own wood, but you'll have some dry sticks to throw in the burner. So every time you take some out, you throw some wet wood back in. So you're constantly drying that wood. Now that will affect your cook chamber a little bit, and you'll have to adjust. You'll probably have to run a little bit hotter. But you're also going to have to use more wood and run hotter to compensate for the rain cooling down the pit, whether it's the firebox or the cook chamber. Because the rain hitting the pit, you're going to see steam coming off. You're cooling the pit. So you're going to have to run like a more intense fire than you would think you would normally.
Exactly. For me, some of the approaches and tips and tricks outside of just adding wood into the wood chamber, depending on your setup. So when I designed Penny, I designed her to be multifaceted. So on the top of my firebox, I have a lid, and I can also use that as a griddle. But I designed that part as also a way to heat wet wood during my cooks. So on top of Penny, I have that. Like, I'll pop my latch, I'll drop the wet wood in there, close the latch, and as the fire inside the firebox is building, it's basically quickly sucking out all the moisture and drying out the wood. So I just keep rotating that. Also, you can take your wet wood and place it on top of the firebox if you're just getting a light mist. If you don't have a compartment like I do, and that residual heat would dry it out. Another way, like if you are in the downpour, of it and you have wood in the chamber and you can't put your wood on top because your canopy is only covering the body and that's what you're focused on, don't forget you can put wood underneath your firebox because heat radiates in full 360 degrees. So the heat going to the top is going to the bottom as well, and you can just put that under there. And I usually, if you're in those type of conditions, wait 20 minutes so that that residual heat can dry out the ground surface. Then put your wet wood there, and that residual heat coming off will help heat and suck the moisture out of your wood as well. So there's a lot of tips and tricks depending on the size of your firebox. Penny's a giant firebox. You've seen back on her. Baby's got back. I can even I've got so much wiggle room, I can just actually put the splits to the far right side and just leave them in there, and they're not going to catch. They're just going to dry out. And then when I'm ready, I can just roll it onto the coals and just keep doing that method as well.
Yeah, if you have a big enough firebox, you can totally do that and throw your splits to one side, let them dry out, and then add those dried out splits to your fire when you need it.
Question: how do you start your fires?
You're gonna hate me.
I usually do. So
shout out to Johnny White. I also use this method. So I open my doors, I open my smokestack all the way.
Yeah.
I'm all for efficiency. I just use some lighter fluid and charcoal. Oh God! But hey, look, I let it burn off for an hour and a half before I ever throw anything in.
I'm looking for a new co-host, ladies and gentlemen. Please submit.
He got over the flipped ribs. Now it's.
I will say, I think that's the longest we've gone without asking for a new co-host.
Yeah.
Do we have applications we could read?
I've got to check. I got to check because we're not doing, out of all the ways, you couldn't even tell me Doritos. You couldn't lie to me and say, hey, I light a Frito chip on fire. And I
told you this last week and you didn't respond. You weren't listening.
He's in denial.
I didn't want to believe it.
Look. So if I have tallow, I will douse some butcher paper in tallow, throw that under a Lincoln log construction of logs, and start it that way. Honestly, I just buy lump charcoal, lighter fluid, throw some logs on top of that, get that charcoal lit, go for like an hour and a half before I even throw proteins on. Like, again, with the doors open so it doesn't leave any creosote things. And it works. Like, it's efficient.
Can we title this cut down Rasheed's Disappointment?
Look, man.
Yeah,
Look, man, I'm learning from the #1 barbecue joint in Texas. That's how they do it.
Oh, gosh. I'm going to put this on Goldie's.
Hey, like, it works.
Oh, God.
Look, I just don't like, to me, this is weird. But I'm totally weirded out by when people take the propane tank and just kind of stick the thing in and then leave it running. Yeah, the torch.
Yeah.
Like, and just leave it in. I'm like, that's more of a fire and explosion hazard than what I'm doing.
Yeah. Golly, I need another drink. Just take this one here. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I already downed mine at the beginning. You can down yours in the middle.
That's true. So how I start mine a lot less barbaric.
I start mine in the way of the people. Okay.
So the people want it this way, not me.
Look, don't use instant light charcoal. I will say that,
no.
Instant light charcoal is completely don't do it. Like,
I can't ever think of a time that I'd ever actually use this stuff.
I think I used it once and smelled it, and I was like, this is terrible.
No, I start mine with wood or brisket soaked butcher paper. So after I do my pop-ups, I'll save like at least 2 sheets of it, and I'll just cut it up neatly and I'll let it dry, and then I just seal it up in a Ziploc bag and toss it in the fridge.
Yeah. And
whenever I need to start a fire, just toss it at the bottom, build a log cabin, light it, and the thing goes up like napalm. If I, for some reason, like right now, haven't done a brisket in a while, so I actually got a couple of briskets to do pastrami briskets for Super Bowl. What I'll do is I'll render down and I'll make some tallow, and I'll just pour tallow over a couple of splits of wood, and just like that, and go about my business and let it catch and do its thing, and then I come back. That's usually how I go about starting my fires. But you got to get down however you get down. So no full judgment here, just a little.
Just a little shade.
Just a little. Hey, I'm dark as it is. I could use a little shade. Let's see. We'll make sure we got. Oh, bump up to news real quick. If you all have not gotten your tickets for the Celebrity Pitmaster Showcase that's happening in Cleveland, Ohio, to benefit various orphan organizations featuring myself, Pops, Mr. Kevin Bledsoe, Erica Roby, and a amazing talented list of others, please do so because ticket prices went up. The early bird special on those tickets ended January 31st, so now I believe they're $99 or so for tickets versus being $75, but it's going to be a good old time. Lots of food to be had, good laughs, and you get to meet Pops. You know, why not? He's a cool cat. He's a real cool cat. And speaking of that too, those of you who aren't aware, I am doing a series for Black History Month where I will be highlighting various pitmasters and cooks and chefs in the culinary space. I'm very happy about it. I'm very, very pleased. You know, it's a great little personal project of mine that I've been working on. The team that we put a lot of effort into getting it put together, and it's just one of those things where I think it was necessary to showcase different contributions of, you know, African Americans in the culinary space, since a lot of our history has been removed. I've titled it The Flavors of Black Excellence, and every day I'll be featuring someone, a person of color in the culinary space that has just made a contribution. Hope you guys like it. Hope you guys dig the feedback on it. It's not to like shun anyone or make it exclusive. It's just to, one, honor those that are still here that I can honor. One of the saddest quotes I ever heard was from a lady who told me, "A man only gets flowers at his funeral." And I was like, damn. So now I try to give flowers to those who are still here as often as I can. And I kicked it off with Pops, and we followed up with Rodney, and there's so many more that are happening, men and women alike. But I hope you guys dig out the series. You can check it out on my main page, Rasheed Phillips, and I'll have write-ups for each of them going on RasheedPhillips.com as well. A little, not shameless plug, but a little plug nonetheless.
A worthwhile plug.
I like to think so. Let's see, what do we got here? There's so many more questions. Ooh, oh boy. They must have asked you that question because I don't think I got that question.
What? Are you looking at the one I'm looking at?
The discrimination one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Was there a follow-up to that one?
No, I know what he's talking about, though, if you want to, like...
Run it, because I'm not certain.
So discrimination of also brown pitmasters in the barbecue community.
Is this the cat with the P.O. box?
No. Oh, yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah. All right, yeah, you lead it, my friend.
So, I mean, it's more than just, like, I guess, if you just consider not just black, but brown. So...
that's why I say POC, people of color.
Yeah, people of color. Like, we can just expand it to people of color, whether, Chinese, Korean, Indian, Pakistani, Middle Eastern, Egyptian, Mexican, Honduran, Colombian, like just all encompassing, basically just non-white.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the simple answer is, yeah, it exists.
Yeah, so his follow-up or his question was like, also discrimination of brown pitmasters in the barbecue community. I must just love getting my ass handed to me, I guess, because why not talk about stuff that other people want to sweep under the rug? There is discrimination. Even some of the blowhards that wanted to respond back saying it doesn't, let's stop talking about it, this or that, and then they'll list off a bunch of people, and I'm like, do you not realize the same people you're listing are literally the ones that I'm talking to that are telling me this is happening? And this happens, I have to go because even yesterday I'm talking with a couple of different pitmasters of color and female alike, white and all, and they were sharing just stories, and one was telling me that the discrimination she gets just because she does more, provides more, larger following, greater results in execution, and her male counterparts make 2-3 times what she does for the same brand. I was like, ooh, that's wild. Someone close to me shared with me an experience that they had and I felt horrible. They shared an experience with me that they had at an event that I was at with them. And, you know, they were asking, this is one of those things that I won't, that, you know, out of respect, I'm not going to go too far in, but they didn't even want to do the thing again because if that person's there, they made such derogatory and rude comments that they just felt they felt so out of place and less than because of it. And I felt horrible because I was there and I didn't know. I had no idea. This happened over a year ago. I had no clue that it not only happened then, but it was something that has been continuing. And I was like, please, if we're doing this again and this is happening, that's going on, I'll break a contract. I'll lay somebody out. Like, we're not doing that. Like, what was expressed to me of what was said and done, I was like, oh yeah, that whole gentleman would have went out the window right then and there. We're putting hands on somebody. Because I was like, there's no, I can't, because just out of respect for them, I can't say what was said and done, but I could never imagine something like that happening to me. And I felt so bad that it was happening around me and I had no clue. And, you know, they just wanted to, you know, keep it to themselves and not make a big deal because the person who was doing it is like this, you know, big name or whatever, you know. And I was like, yeah, name or not, that's not how things are done. Like, that should never have happened. And I feel horrible that you had to feel like you had to keep that to yourself, and so much so now that you don't even want to partake in certain things. So for all of you who have something to say, y'all can suck the left and massage the right, but I'm gonna keep saying what I gotta say because stories like that and things like that can't happen. We've all got to do better. We can't do that. Like, that's not the way to be.
What's funny is, it's not funny. I just use it as a saying. The most exciting things in barbecue that are happening now are the people that are introducing their heritage to barbecue cuisine.
Oh yeah, shout out to cats over at Koi Barbecue, just, you know, loving it.
Yeah, they just released their curry sauce. Curry Boys Barbecue got nominated in San Antonio.
Nice.
KG Barbecue, like we said, got nominated. You know, it's really exciting to see the ways that they're adapting barbecue and bringing in their basically their life story and the way they always had cuisine.
Yeah.
And I think that's way more exciting than just doing like a new spin on a potato salad.
Agree.
Yeah.
And I have to, while we're talking about bringing in their history, Mr. Ed Mitchell, if you aren't aware of who this man is, you should be. He's definitely one of the people that I'll be featuring because, like, we've done all this. We're just dropping him out. He's definitely one of the people we're featuring for Black History Month. But he does have his book available for pre-order now. It's Ed Mitchell's Barbecue, written by Ed and Ryan Mitchell, his son. And you should definitely get it. This is a gentleman who has shifted and changed the terrain of the barbecue landscaping community, and this is a must-have for everyone. The book is going to be released hardcover June 6th of this year. It would make an amazing Father's Day gift for any backyarder, any pitmaster, any smoke roller. You know, definitely make sure you get it. We'll have a link in the show notes on how and where you can purchase the book, but it's worth getting. And I think what makes this so important for me, typically gentlemen like Ed, you hear about and they get their roses and their flowers after they're gone. Here is a very rare opportunity for us to be able to not only honor but support this man and his contribution to the craft while he is still here. So we're going to have all that information in the show notes for you guys to pick up a copy, or at least place an order for a copy. I don't know if he's going to be doing a tour or book signing events. I'm almost certain he will be, but it's definitely one of those books that's worth adding to the collection. I haven't seen anything but a few pages of it, but hands down, I'm getting two to give to a friend. You know, one for me and one for them. So had to put that out there, guys. Had to put that one out there. You want to end on another question here? No, someone asked you. Well, we have to end on two because we'll do two more. First one being, what's the origin of the secret pint name?
Mogwai.
Yeah, well, but you got to go more than that. You got to
Okay,
give the people
it's
more.
it's a song by a Scottish band called Mogwai. I don't even really like the song; just the name stuck out. It was like so they used to record with John Peel on BBC radio and do John Peel sessions, and then they released a live recording album called Government Commissions, and so it would play like two songs before my favorite song by them, and so when I read the name Secret Pint, it kind of stuck in the back of my mind, and it gave me a nod to old moonshiners. Like you think about it, it's a secret pint of alcohol, rum running back in the day, and so like my original logo was gonna be like a moonshine glass.
I like that.
Yeah,
I know you've been playing around with a little rebranding.
No. This is staying like the the horns and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the metal one that's the one I'm gonna go with for it. But like originally, secret pint, kind of moonshine, that kind of thing. An ode to like the South and kind of that nature of it. But that song's on Rock Action, is the original album, and also on Government Commissions. But it's not even really my like. It's an okay song.
You just like the title.
I just like the title.
Okay. Well, we could sort of maybe do two more. We'll do this one. Rollin' Smoke 8020 hit you with a question.
Yeah, it's a good question.
All right.
So, all right, like I'm gonna take it a different way. So he asks, if you could eat barbecue one last time, what would you put on the tray?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say, like, if we're gonna pick other people's barbecue food, what is on your death row barbecue platter?
Is that what I feel like that has to be part of the title? Death Row Barbecue Platter.
Honestly, that's the title, right?
now.
That's the name of the episode.
All right. So
Not Suge Knight though.
not Suge Knight. Not Suge Knight. You lead it. What would you put on your last tray?
I mean, can we? I'm gonna start with sides. So
knock yourself out, man.
Brian Furman. Hash and rice.
Okay.
We already talked about it.
Got to get bees rice.
They're not open anymore, but since it's death row, I'm gonna pick it. I'm gonna pick a Harold's barbecue, crackling cornbread and Brunswick stew.
Okay.
Lewis barbecue green chili corn pudding.
Okay.
Probably ribs from Snow's. The sausage from City Market in Lilling, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Brisket from Goldie's. I just think they do the best.
Okay.
Whole hog from Rodney.
Right.
And I don't know. That's a tough one on that last side.
Because we're doing 2 meats, 3 sides, 3 and 3.
Yeah, I think 2 meats, 3 sides, or 3 and 3. 3 meats, 3 sides.
All right.
So I did green chili corn pudding, hash and rice. Oh, and then I did Brunswick stew. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, you already said bees hash, so I'll go one lever down, and I'd say his mama's griddle cakes. That's got to be on there for me. Everyone would probably expect me to say whole hog from Rodney's, but I'm getting those wings, man. I went there the other day, and the fryer was out, and they couldn't get me one. I was like, damn it.
If it wasn't whole hog, I would have gone with ribs, but I went with ribs from Snow's.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm getting the smoked wings from Rodney's, the griddle cakes from Bees. I'm getting my man 100 grand. This cat, you might have heard him, Brian Hall. He's got this slick manchego sausage. That is, I'm not leaving this green earth without it, without 2 links of the manchego.
If he's willing to make it,
it's death row. It's gotta.
Oh yeah, that's
it's
true.
Death row. I'm getting those links one way or another. I'm getting that on there. I'm getting Pops's brisket. I dig that. I really like that. Yeah, fatty. Double fatty.
Double fatty.
4th
slice.
Give me a half pound of the 4th slice. So I got Pops's brisket, Rodney's wings, Bees griddle cakes, your manchego sausage. Other side, You know what it is? And this is completely out of respect, even though she terrifies me. And one of the last times I saw her, she threw a chair at my head. Shout out to Keebler, Richard and Dana. I definitely want one of her red velvet cupcakes.
Oh, that's a good choice.
It is a good choice. That's a mean choice. So I'm going out with one of these red velvet cupcakes. They're just so good. I want to do Keenan's pulled pork.
Keenan's like cold hog?
Yeah.
Or pulled pork?
The whole hog, the whole mash.
Yeah.
I'd want to do that to finish it on my left and like finish up on the side. Who's got the killer mac? Ooh. You know what? I would go with Moose Mac.
Moose Mac, okay.
Yeah, I'd finish it off with Moose Mac. That'd be my set. I'd be happy. I'd be content, man. It's all over the place.
Those are two ridiculously good platters.
Those are some solid platters. That's like a Gold Belly's special order holiday platter right there.
How expensive would that be from Gold Belly?
That's a couple hundred.
That's got to be at least $300 per platter.
Yeah, at least. It's outrageous what they're making off of that. But I wanted to finish it off with, would y'all do a barbecue class, which is a question asked by KCT87.
No, Stacy T87.
Is it Stacy? Yeah, Stacy T. All right.
By the way, that goes with the other, like one other question. When does the new barbecue intern program start?
I don't know. You're the teacher. I'm just there to look pretty. What do I know? I do things the ridiculously hard way. Lee can tell you that part.
You have something in the works for the barbecue class thing.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about it too much.
Yeah, there's stuff that we're working on. We're trying to play around, but it's crazy times right now, man. But I'm all out for it. I had one cat say like, "Hey, I want to pay to learn from you." I'm like, I'm not that smart. But would we do? I don't know. Would we do in live barbecue classes? There's just so. Here's the thing. There's so many I'm a logistical cat. There's just so many things. Like if it was as easy as doing it tomorrow, man, I'd do it all day, every day. Like I'm doing a catering event tomorrow for 120 odd people, and I was like, man, I miss this. I miss being the lead cook on this stuff.
Are we both doing catering gigs tomorrow?
Yeah, man. So yeah, I'm doing a catering for 120. It's a nice surprise and delight. It's for a bunch of educators, and they don't realize that I'm comping them. Like it's on me. And it's more so to just do it. I miss it. I'd love to teach. Like I'd love to even what we were just talking about when it's wet outside, how to cook. I'd love to show all those tricks, hands on, and even so much more that we didn't talk about. Do you know a guy good with a camera?
Yeah, I don't know what.
All right, we'll see. Do you think Luke's available?
What about that Corey guy?
No, let's not talk about that Corey guy. No. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. If we'll put this out there, two things to put out there. If you're actually interested and you'd want us to do a barbecue class and you are in the Georgia area, if I can get 10 people interested, I'll put something on. That's all I want. 10 people interested in the Georgia area. I know enough cats and know enough places. Shout out to the cats, Gary and Greg over at Atlanta Barbecue, Atlanta Grill Company. They'd happily welcome me to do something out there. Just something small, nothing wild. But if we can get 10 cats in Georgia that are actually interested, I'll put it together. We'll make it happen. And also, don't forget, we have our $20 challenge. Once we get a full 20 participants that have commented on the previous video, we'll start shipping the 20s out so you guys can do that. If you are unaware, go back and listen to the last episode, and we're giving away $20 to fund your $20 challenge, and the winner gets a cool $500 cash. Just that easy. It's not. You don't have to pay for anything.
Plus some stickers.
Plus, do you even have stickers back?
I still have stickers.
Okay. Yes. Plus a sticker from Brian.
No, that's just a.
His contribution is the sticker, and he's buying the stamp. That's what we're doing.
That was a throwback to just a gift package that I don't think I ever provided the stickers.
All you had was the stickers, but I think it's weird. For some reason, barbecue, we love hats and we love stickers. So I'm good with either way. And if you guys are wanting to send either one or a bottle of brown, the P.O. box is in the bio. And thank you guys for watching. As always, my name is Rasheed Phillips, and this has been This Week in Barbecue, the barbecue focused podcast that introduces you to both the good, the bad, and everything in between in the world of barbecue. Joining me as always, my amazing host, Mr.
Brian Hull. Remember to tell a friend to tell two friends and be good to one another.
Hey, he's got it, ladies and gentlemen.